YouTube, it's Tone back with another one. This is a continuation on creditors and their bonds. This is the third slide version of it. So this one here is a good one. I think that you're gonna like it. It establishes the fact that the relationship that you have with your public servants is in fact a trust situation, and gives you a little bit of insight as to how to operate within a trust here and what your position is, right? So construction, interpretation of statute, regulation of court decision or other legal authority, the process or art of determining the sense, real meaning, or proper explanation of obscure, complex, or ambiguous terms or provision in a statute, written instrument, or oral agreement, or the application of such subject to the case in question by reasoning in the light derived from extraneous connected circumstances or actions or writings bearing upon the same or connected matter, or by seeking and applying the probable aim or purpose of the provision, drawing conclusions respecting the subjects that lie beyond the direct expression of the term. Construction. So the construction of the relationship that you have with your public servants is a trust, and it doesn't have to be written out in such a manner to make it obvious in the document or contract that it is a trust. It just fucking is a trust, right? So two or more parties, you're gonna have a trust situation right there, right? So refusal, the act of one who has by law or a right and power or having or doing something of advantage and declines it. A refusal implies the positive denial of an application or command, or at least evidential determination not to comply. Power, authority to do any act which the grantor, you, might himself lawfully perform. The following is taken from In Search of Liberty in America, one of Byron's books. Why do officers of government hold positions called trust or profit? False prophets. Look at some constitutions to find the phrase. References in the Constitution for the United States of America are provided below. Now, maybe you didn't know this. There's two constitutions, right? To the well, there's one that actually is speaking of America, the land without the United States. So they went ahead and overlaid their own constitution. So where is it? Constitution for the United States of America is our Constitution. Then they have their own Constitution of the United States of America, which you wouldn't even know the fucking difference until you look it up. Google that shit. Maybe you won't find it on Google. Try DuckDuckGo. But there's two different constitutions, so they can change the one that they made, but they ain't fucking touching ours. And so if you don't know that there's two constitutions, you wouldn't know that they don't have the authority to fucking touch ours, but they can do whatever they want with theirs because it's not ours, right? You don't have to be a party to it anyway. You really do not have to be a party to their bullshit. So right here, any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States, Article 1, Section 3. Any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States, Article 1, Section 9. Any senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or profit under the United States, Article 2, Section 1. Any office of or public trust under the United States, Article 4, Clause 3. Suffice it to say, trillions of dollars in assets are being held in these trusts in America today. You can verify this if you study the comprehensive annual financial reports that each corporate entity within the United States empire is required to have. The trust transfers possession of trust assets to another. The trustee can make the rules and regulations for the use of the trust property and also rules for the conduct of those persons accepting protection or receiving property. Trust property may remain in the so-called public form held directly by the trust or its partners or corporations, or it may be conveyed into the private domain. It is all effectively trust property, public and private, until it is taken out of the protection of the trust. Now, when you do your UCC1, what you're doing essentially is putting the state on notice that you're going to be taking your public entity, your all capital letter name, that you're going to be taking that into the private, and that's what lets them know that is when you capture your slave, and you can whip your own fucking slave. They don't have to fucking whip it for you. You can get all the benefits of that motherfucker without them in the way. They're just trying to take a cut. They're just trying to be middlemen, and they really want you to believe that you need them, right? They need you to believe that you need them, or else they fucking cease to exist, literally. Will fade to black. So here, rules of the game. Rule number 1. The fiction and real cannot mix. The public and private cannot mix. You cannot create a public debt that is against the law. And it's funny, right? Because they'll make you seem like you're the one who fucking did it. When you got pulled over by a cop and he created that fucking debt out of thin air using your fucking name. But you're somehow liable for that? Whoever fucking brings the goddamn claim has to bring the remedy. So you want to fucking create debt out of thin air, you fucking deal with that shit. Why is that shit my problem? These fucking people are ridiculous. But this is how they move. This is how they move. So, if you cannot create public debt, then who the fuck created it? Them, right? Come on, cut it out, bro. So you cannot create a public debt that is against the law. A creditor can issue a bond, evidence of a public debt, and use the bond to discharge other public debts, right? It cancels it out, a debt with a debt, right? You cannot use the public reserve, Federal Reserve routing numbers on the private credit instruments that you use. These routing numbers, and so you're gonna use your registered mail number or your certified mail number. That's gonna become your routing number on any of the instruments that you use and things like that, in order to make reference to what it is that you're talking about. So after you do your UCC1, what you're gonna do, you know what? Let me not get too far ahead. So the routing numbers are public. Your credit instruments are your private routing number, EIN, with the closed account number. You are a private banker. The closed account number was accepted and put on a UCC1. Your acceptance of the account number takes it into the private side for adjustment and set off. You gave notice to Jon Snow and his predecessor that you have accepted the account as collateral. Your secured party collateral rights are private now. They can't fucking access it without your fucking permission or allowing them to do so, right? You are a secured party on the private side, even without filing a UCC1. The UCC1 is to give notice to the public side of your collateral rights. This is why you can use the account for adjustment and set off of public debts. There is no money on the private side. Debt is used on the public side to discharge other public debts. There is no money on the public side either, but debt is accepted as money. The debts that are owed to you by the public can be used to discharge public debts. A debt is a liability to the debtor, and an asset, a bond. Each time you use your credit, you can bond your bill of exchange or use a bond. Either way, it is a bond, evidence of a public debt owed to you that discharges the public debt, right? Then you can swing around and collect that motherfucker on the private side. Shit is crazy. So you can literally get paid to play if you know what the fuck you're doing in this motherfucker. It's crazy. And, the system was set up for us to thrive. It really was. With these fucking pirates have been jacking everybody for fucking hundreds and hundreds of years of shit. But I got a real strong feeling that shit is over. So, if the state cannot file a claim against you because it is a fictitious entity and you are a real man, then it must file a claim against a straw man to get to you. What is it trying to get? Does it want your body in jail? The money in your account, your house, your business? No, it just wants you to fucking settle the goddamn account. It wants you to accept it for value and give it the fuck back to them. You don't fucking have to, but this is what they want. And they want you to go into court and they want you to argue with them to go into fucking dishonor so they can throw you in fucking jail. And then they'll get their money that way because you went into dishonor, so they'll fucking throw you in jail. Mind you, the whole time these fucking assholes are the real criminals and they're fucking tricking you into that. But how can they let you know that all that they want you to do is to fucking accept it for value so they can get paid on the private side without telling you that they've been robbing you for all these fucking years? Because they would have to admit to knowingly committing criminal acts if they were to put you on notice and let you know that this is all that you really have to do, right? The answer is no. It wants your credit. It already has the rest of it because everything is either registered or found on unregistered property. The state does not want the things that are held in the name of the straw man, but it has no compunction against taking those things if you dishonor it in any way. All those things except your body belong to the straw man, which is an officer, agent, or employee of the U.S. Of its state. They do not belong to you. The money Federal Reserve knows belongs to the Federal Reserve because it is the entity that created it. The straw man just gets to use it as long as it follows the Federal Reserve rules. The title to the real property associated with your house is held by the straw man. The business license for your business was issued to the straw man. The registration for the car names the straw man as the owner. The driver's license was issued to the straw man. None of those assets belong to you. They are all pieces of paper that belong to the straw man unless it fails to follow the rules. Right? The rules to the game. So here, presentment has a complaint, a moving party, right? So everything is an offer. It's all a fucking presentment. And you have 72 hours from when you receive the presentment to accept it or fucking reject it. It's up to you what the fuck you want to do with it. If you value the services that these people offer, then you can fucking accept it and let them get their goddamn money to keep the goddamn services going. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you. I'm not gonna tell you what the fuck to fund these people or not. But if you do use their services, public schools, for public transport, whatever it may be, right, and you get a presentment from them, it may be honorable to accept it and just let them get their credit, right? It's not a big deal. It's nothing personal. It's really just business. But they do need funds in some way, shape, or form, and they can't tell you that they need it from you because they're fucking bankrupt. So they're gonna pull stupid ass fucking scams to get it off you, right? So, and you can make pledges to them and shit like that if you want to, whatever, right? You make a pledge, they'll send you a bill, whatever it may be, 10,000, 20,000, whatever, right? Get the bill, fucking accept it, and let them get their money if you appreciate the services that they offer. If you don't, then you can take their fucking house or their car, depending on how the fuck that they want to act. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you. So, because they don't have to be fucking assholes about it either. So does the officer manager do when it needs more money for paper clips, right? Oh no, I just fucking skipped the line. So the state is trying to move you to let it use your credit. If you refuse, the state can move to the court to grant the use of from your dishonor. Does the state really have a complaint, or is it just asking for your help? Maybe the complaint is that it's out of money. There is no money. None on the private side, gold or silver, none on the public side, except your credit. Does the officer manage to do when it needs more money for paper clips? It requisitions the guy on the top floor for money to buy more paper clips. Do the bosses say no way? Of course not. That would be counterproductive for the purpose of business. Think of the state as your business. You need to be sure that there are enough paper clips, or businesses may fail. Why would you refuse to honor the requisition? I mean, I would if they come at me crazy, right? If I'm on my fucking way to work and you fucking pull me over and you give me a fucking ticket and now I'm late for work, bro, you better fucking believe that you're not getting a motherfucking dime out of me, bro. And I'm gonna make sure that you have a fucking really bad day too as well, as soon as you get my paperwork in the fucking mail and you get the notices of how much it just costs you to be a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? So there's ways to go about it. There is ways to go about it. And that's not the fucking way. That's not the one, bro. Let me tell you that right now. So what is it? Why would you refuse to honor their requisition? I just told you why the fuck I would. Why would you argue about whether or not the requisition was filled out properly? Why would you deny you are proper party to fulfill the requisition? Why would you ignore the requisition? Why would you get mad and start charging the messenger with fraud? If you ignore the requisition to spend all your boss's money trying not to fulfill the requisitions, the business will fail. Where would that leave you? Your business is down the tubes. You might be in jail for breach of contract. Your property has been taken by the corporate attorneys. Your money is gone. All the people who depended on your business have used other sources of your products and services. You are a very irresponsible businessman. If you had just signed the requisition, you would still be on the top floor. Instead, the trust assets are gone, and you are making license plates. Right? The state has no substance. It has no money. It has no inherent right to anything except what it has created, which is a straw man. It has a very important function. It has been charged with providing for the means by which you can go into grocery stores, gas stations, libraries, shopping malls, airports, car dealerships, and marts. It does not get money from somewhere. It cannot continue to provide the infrastructure you find so convenient. The only source it has is taxes. License permits and registration fees are a source of revenue for the state, but that is not sufficient for the giant octopus feeding machine we have grown to love and depend on. It needs to feed off your credit, and if you don't voluntarily let the state use it, the state will use your dishonor to take it. And that's when you get thrown in a fucking jail or some stupid shit like that, right? So you just gotta know the nature of the beast. And they're trying their best to get money out of you without telling you that they fucking need the money because they're fucking broke, right? So they're going to find stupid ass ways to do it by hiring fucking moronic cops that will turn on their own people to fucking literally rob them in the goddamn streets like they're somebody special. This is what the tactics that they turn to, right? And maybe they don't know what the fuck that they're doing, right? You know, like if you have a certain IQ, they're not gonna hire you as a cop because you're gonna know better, right? So, you know, there's certain personality types that they hire whenever they, you know, hire their fucking Walmart security guards with guns out on the streets and shit. And they're definitely not hiring the sharpest fucking tools in the shed. I'll tell you that right the fuck now. And I find it kind of, you know, strange that they would even hire somebody who doesn't have a law degree to be out on the streets with a gun enforcing a fucking law that they don't even know what it is. What the fuck? What's the worst that could happen, right? Fucking idiots. So anyway, this is a game of chess. Stop playing checkers with these fucking faggots until I see you again. Until we meet again.